so eager to work with international groups, starting from my early career and for now as well. Building bridges in between people is my interest, and also standardized education and also institutions are also in my scope. Yeah, this is all, and I was very happy to welcome you in my office as well previously and now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. From what I understand from my conversation, you are a person with a clear path on your vision. You seem to have a clear vision for what you're doing. It was obvious in our conversation. The vision was clear. You knew what you were doing. So I would like you to, explore with me, how vision affect and help us set our goals. It was clear to me you had a clear vision. Can you try to know how are people able to come up with visions, and how does a clear vision help our lives, please?
Yes, having a clear vision with a team and with yourself, I think it's like putting a meaning, understanding the meaning of your being here in life, in the team. And without a meaning, you cannot do an ambition, you cannot follow an coordination or alignment, I guess.
Hmm.
It's like an ikigai. Maybe you
Yeah,
recognize the Japanese philosophy, uh, why I'm here and what is my mission. So you all think about it, and you go with this through all your life.
that's good. That's good. One of the things that I understood sitting down with you was, it's not only that you know the vision, you internalized it, and you're able to communicate it. Even to me, as a first time meeting you, I was able to sense and understand that you could communicate your vision. How are you able to communicate your vision to people so easily? How are you able to communicate your vision to your team? Because I think it's not just enough to have vision. One needs to be able to communicate the vision. How are you able to communicate your vision to people so easily?
Yeah, actually, thank you. I don't know if it is easy, but I think it is the main thing. If we do something, if we communicate, if we go for something or some duties, if there's no meaning, then in a minute you will change your mind. So
Hmm.
a team may run some part of it to right hand side and to left hand side. So if everyone knows the real meaning, so we will just collaborate and look for each other for that aim. So I believe in that. I believe in the spending the time of the meaning is, I think, is not a loss of time.
Hmm.
It's the first priority.
That's good. That's good. A couple of weeks ago, we had a conference here in Izmir. This is a conference I've been doing for a large part of my life. This was the second time we're having it in Izmir, and we spoke about the concept of vision. But one of the things people kept asking, what exactly is vision? I tried to say it's the ability to see and project into the future. What would you say now that you have a school that is running effectively, excellently? What would you say, looking back at before you started? How can you define vision for somebody who doesn't know what a vision is? Someone will say, what is vision? How can you, in your own term, with your experience, define a vision for somebody?
Yeah, vision is some kind of a settlement. Actually, it's infrastructure. It's the framework, and
Hmm.
inside you put some missions and maybe change your
Hmm.
direction depending on that framework. When we start teamwork, then we talk about and we make the brainstorming about
Hmm.
the future, as you said,
Hmm.
future goals and why we are here, why we are gathering here.
Hmm.
If the aim is the highest standards of the region for this international company, let's say, or this international institute, then you always remember this and recognize this, and you set your goals depending on that vision.
That's great. That's great. That's great. I hope you don't mind me going a little bit away from this. You know, does it ever challenge, or do you face challenges as a woman with a vision? You are a woman inspiring people. I was in your office and I saw how people looked at you, they admired you, they believed you. It's you can see it in the face of your team, you
Mhm.
know. And does it, do you ever face challenges as I'm a woman having this vision, running this organization? Do you ever face such challenges?
Yeah.
And if you ever did face, such challenges, how did you as a woman overcome that?
Yeah. As we are descending to 8th of March, as women workers, it doesn't matter if you hold the money, if you are employer or if you are employee. I were in the both sides of the table actually. You face with challenges. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a human, uh, besides being a woman, if you have a family, if you have a personal life, then you have challenges to balance your life and work all together with harmony. So it's these kind of issues. Actually, the thing that triggered me to set my own business was that actually the challenges with babies, the hours, how to handle with it. So I try my best to um, the needs to understand the needs of my colleagues to reach that balance and harmony.
Good. Great. You mentioned needs. So let me say you saw a need and you tried to meet that need. You know,
Yes.
people always talk about money, money, money. And I always tell people something. Money flows in the direction of needs. If you're able to provide a need, money will flow in your direction. So if I'm correct, you saw a need and you went ahead to meet that need.
Yeah.
What can you tell a young graduate or someone who's currently looking for a job? Can you expatiate on them trying to find a need? Because if you can find a need and meet the need, money might flow in your way better. How can you expatiate that and encourage people on that light?
Yeah, I actually like to work with new graduates in engineering chamber. I was also involved.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, first they need to see their needs as the junior graduates. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
they do need to understand what are the abilities and the vision, as you said. What is their vision? And I think they need to have a scope. They need to understand the market. For example, if they are fall in love with a woman, I don't know who lives in Barcelona, so they need to focus on the Barcelona's market,
Mm-hmm.
their abilities, how they match the abilities and how the markets match with their ability.
Great, great, great. Just in case anybody, if you're watching us, you have a question for Mrs. Bahar, you have a question, you have a thought you want to share with us, or something you want her to address, we welcome your questions. You can just put in the comments on Facebook, put in the comments on Instagram. I'm sure she'll be more than happy to answer your questions quickly. Now, let me move on to something I also noticed. Team. A couple of years ago, I think that was in 2013, I made an attempt to write a book, and the book was called People on the Way of Destiny. And I tried to address how different people affect our lives. And one of the things I mentioned in that book was nothing great survives alone. If it's going to be great, it needs people. And I noticed, like I said earlier on, you had this ability to bring people to your vision, communicate it, and you had an excellent team. How are you able to pick your team? How can any manager, any leader in organization learn from you on how to build a team that will work and that will achieve the goal?
Yeah. Uh, if you are not alone, if you are two, now you are a team. Even you are a two. So you need to understand your true colors of each
Mm-hmm.
and the needs, as we mentioned previously. We need to understand our needs throughout the day. So which kind of motivations we need. So it's not one
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to see each other as a team. What do we need? How can we make it easier for a working day, or how can we ease our communication? Understanding each other and being accessible. I think this is the key. And first priority should be for a manager. The first priority should be the team members, not the customers, not the parents, not some other thing, or not the products. I think the team members should have the first priority, and if they need to talk and they need to access, the manager should be always ready for that.
Wow, wow, that's really amazing. I also saw this in your office when we came, that people, your staff were, they could access you easily. They came to you, which was something really, really nice. You didn't like shut yourself in the office and say you've got to knock before you come in. You didn't like say, do you have something? Speak to my assistant. Something like, you were very relatable. This time around, I see a lot of managers, sometimes people still haven't understood that it's really about the team. It's not just about you. So when people talk about the things you're doing, the organization, the success of it, how do you allow that honor to drop to the team? How does you don't just hold it to yourself, I believe. How do you trickle it down to your teammates so that to those working with you, so they feel the honor and the praise and that the accolades that is coming in?
Yeah, celebrating the honor together is really important, and at that moment, not to postpone it. And if it is possible, to face with the team member who deserves that honor, and something's coming, and I just ask them to have some time to have this communication with me, if possible. If not, I pass the communication directly to them, and maybe in the meetings, they are also honoring each other. It's really important, and it's a team culture that we are thankful to each other.
Team culture. Great. So you're trying to say that it's important that people learn to honor each other in a team. It's not just you, or it's not just them honoring you as the team leader, as the manager, as the leader of the organization. Is everyone learning to honor each other?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Can I, let me ask, what are you always looking for when you're looking for someone to employ? What are the characters you are looking for, the characteristics you're looking for in an employee? Because I'm sure you receive thousands and dozens of CVs from time to time, people wanting to work with you because your school is obviously a very good place to work with. What are you looking for?
Yeah, I would like to have your opinion as well, but I'm not directly looking to the techniques. Yes, you need to see the academics and techniques, but the tantrum of an individual really affects the team harmony. So if it is suitable for the team, that tantrum, and first, actually, when we decide to employ someone to some place, so we decide which kind of attitudes needed, which values needed, which tantrum is suitable. Because let's say for accountancy, you need some other analytical aspects or characteristics, but for being a teacher or with a relationship or how to say it, communicator, you need to look for something else. If it is a duty-orientated person or a human-orientated person, these kind of aspects are really important, and this is the decision maker, I think.
I totally agree with you. One of the things I tell people is people don't care what you know until they know you care. So I'm always looking out for someone who cares.
Yeah.
Like you said, people-oriented person.
Yeah.
People can come in with a degree that is so beautiful, a certificate full of A's, but they are so terrible with people. So terrible with people. How do you say no to someone you feel this person has got this certificate, it looks good, but
Mhm.
somehow you feel this person doesn't fit into your team? How do you say no to that person?
It's a hard job. I don't know how do you do that. Actually, we take our time.
Of
Uh,
course.
yes, yes. The academics, sure. Understanding the good parts. Yes, everyone has. How to say it? They have a really important role in somewhere in
Mm-hmm,
some place. Maybe this is not the place that fits. So we
mm-hmm,
search for it. So I don't know. It's really hard to explain it. Not right to face, and it's not uh, me to judge or evaluate a person directly.
mm-hmm,
So rather
mm-hmm,
than that, we have some people in hand, and we are taking our time. And so I put the dates, and if we call you or we if we not, so these are the aspects that we can say. I don't know how you do that.
it's one
Not,
of the
not
it's one of the hardest parts of employing people. It's when you have to interview somebody and you have to find a way to tell the person that no, you got a good CV, but no. I think we once interviewed somebody, and we chose to meet the person outside after the first online meeting. We chose to have a lunch with the person because we were really considering the person, but the person showed up. Oh no. The way the person showed up was like, this is not it. This
yeah.
is not it. I think the person made it easier for us to make that decision, in that light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, if you, as you said, if you give enough information about your team
Hmm.
and your institution, the person will also decide where to go as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let me go back to something that is important: empathy. Empathy. I love the word empathy because I feel like if you're not able to empathize with people, especially students, especially this generation, can you just hold that thought a little bit about empathy? Let me go back quickly to reference something you mentioned earlier that I forgot to mention. You talked about tantrum. I'm happy I remembered that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
You know, tantrum in this generation seems to be have heightened, and
Mhm.
you have young graduate 21, 22, 23, and their tantrum is so up the roof. They have How do you it's if you're dealing with 30, 40-year olds, it's but the tantrum of this generation seems to be more. How What do you think managers like you, or leaders like you, or owners of the organizations, how do you manage the young graduates of this generation? They have no experience, but they are super entitled, thinking because they've come out from the best university they deserve the very best of everything. How do you manage with that?
Yeah, empathy to each other and face off directly, feedbacks, on time, and asking for open conversation all the time, not to have hide and seeks. Yeah, these are the keys, I think, and so taking her or his responsibility. Yeah, asking for taking her or his responsibility to
Mm-hmm,
team, her duty or his duty
mm-hmm,
is really important, and not waiting too much, I think.
mm-hmm,
And in the beginning, orientation period, first month, second month, meetings are really crucial. And giving support and training, well training is really important. If you
mm-hmm,
don't train, so it could be a really well experienced somebody, but doesn't know the culture or your policies inside,
mm-hmm,
fail and doesn't feel well and can feel unsuccessful. So not to let them feel unsuccessful, rather than that, giving feedback and understanding each other, and saying that I see your true colors and I want to see your true colors, please open up. I think these are important.
All right, great, great, good. Let's go back to the word empathy I started with. it's very important that teachers or connect with students. It's very important managers connect to team members. It's very important that department heads connect with the people in their department, because I say if you can't empathize, don't lead. If you can't empathize, don't manage. If you're a doctor, you need to empathize with your patients. If you're a husband, you need to empathize with your wife. If you're a wife, you need to empathize with your husband and children. How important is empathy for any leader, for any manager, for any teacher, anybody in organization? How important is empathy?
Yeah, empathy is really the key, but it's also it's like a sharp knife. I don't know how to symbolize it, but
Mhm.
if you over empathize, you may write stories of somebody else. So
Hmm.
empathy and having the check if it is the right way you understand. Yeah, understanding the person is a socializer, if a person is analytical thinker. I don't know, not to categorize, but to
Mhm.
understand the details, the needs of a child could be, of a person could be, and I think. Before analyzing, you need to also understand the background.
Hmm.
Background knowledge, as you know, as a teacher, first you need to assess what do they know and what they want to learn, and what they have learned and what are the abilities. It's also, I think, with parallel to empathy, assessing and having the conversations all the time, one to one.
Good. You're trying to create a balance. You're saying don't over empathize. You need to empathize, but don't overdo it. Keep it at a balance. Don't over stretch it. That's really really important. Sometimes leaders need to find the balance in everything that they do. Now, I'm just going to take one, two, or three more questions, and then I can let you go. But I want to say it's been a very wonderful time so far chatting with you. You are a very inspiring person to have conversation with. I have no doubt you're a very inspiring manager as well. And I'm really excited to get to know you, work with you, and all of that. Let me quickly ask: when we had a conversation about working together, you were eager to include the future of your teachers' children in the deal. You
Yeah.
were eager. What was the driving point? I felt like it wasn't something you just thought about immediately. It was something that was already at the back of your mind. You carried these people.
Yeah.
How is that important for leaders to not just think only about their success, their
Yeah.
financial progress, the financial progress of the company? How important is it that leaders also think about the future? The managers think about the future of every member of the organization and their children. How important is that?
Yeah, it is. It is really because if you want to have a sustainable institution with the same people who are eager to be with you for a long time, then all the people in your team need to have a balance in their life, as we talked previously. So how come? If a family member of themselves are not happy, or if they are thinking about their future of their children and they cannot find a way, then
Mhm.
how come they can be happy working with you everly after? How it's like a dream. It's not possible. That's why it's always, yeah, back of my mind, and searching for collaborations to make the future clearer and easier for my colleagues, for my team members and teachers. Yes.
Wow. Wow. So you're saying that managers shouldn't just think about their own happiness. They should think about the happiness of their staff and the happiness of their families as well. Because a happy team makes a better organization. If I'm correct, that's what you're saying.
Yes, yes. Wellness, actually. Wellness of body, individual, makes better work, better teamwork. Yeah, if and it's not just sports and stuff. It's people has families.
Mhm.
Yeah, future plans as well.
Good. I'm going to ask two questions or two things that I'm sure you're not expecting me to ask. how do you rest as a manager? Because you can have a lot of activities. Just this morning when we were doing some testing and getting ready, you were reminding me, oh, you have this to do today. You know,
Yeah.
I was talking with Alena yesterday, and she said something to me. She said, you know, we're gonna grow this institution and everything, but don't die now. Because
It's important, Mr.
yeah.
B.
So
It's
so
important.
how
So
do you
people,
rest? How do you rest?
yeah, I will ask you the same question, but I will tell my own experience. If I
Hmm.
work hard on those days, how to say it, I rest more.
Mm.
Yeah, like this. If I'm so busy, then I go more sports. I'm so busy,
Oh.
I go more dance. Rather than feeling exhausted, I need to recharge myself. So
Hmm.
this is my key. I don't know. How's yours?
For me, you know, I like to cook.
Ah,
So when I'm stressed out and I'm exhausted, I look for something to cook, or I sit down and watch football. You know, or I do whatever my wife wants us to do. You know, as long as she's doing it and she's happy, then I'm happy. You know, sometimes I just enjoy how doing some things. That's enough. That's enough relaxing for me. You know.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know. Okay.
Some time at home and with family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let me quickly say this or ask this. You're not happy with my job. Imagine I work for you. You're not happy with my job. I've worked with you for 3 years. You are aware of the difficulties I'm facing in my life as well. How would you fire me? What's the easiest way? How would you fire me? But you need to fire me. How would you do that?
You are not happy as well.
I, I'm working. I'm working for you. You
Yes.
know. So, but you are not happy with me.
I'm not happy with you.
Yes. So how would you fire me? You need to fire me. Can you tell me?
Uh, yeah. It's really hard to yeah, if you have connections then it's hard, but at the end, if this is the decision, everything is tried, everything is talked to each other, and if the goals are set already and the person knows that the goals are not achieved well,
Hmm.
so previously I will try my best to uh, put things to on right track. If not, then openly I will discuss. Starting from this date, we cannot go further. How would you like to? How would you like to say bye to everyone? This is my vision. Yes, I will let her or him to make her own communication with the community, and any needs that I may support is will be on the table as well, because closing a door is also really important. We need to be nice and kind to each other. And you never know, after some years, you will meet each other and will support each other. You never know.
That's true. That's true. So you're saying even though you want to relieve somebody of their job, even if you want to fire somebody, you do it politely so that you might meet the person one day in the future. That's what you're saying.
Yes, we may need each other, and I want to listen as well.
Hmm. Hmm. There's a comment in there. Someone is asking a question. The person said that you previously spoke about team culture. The question is, can you explain more on team culture, the dynamics of team culture, building team culture? Can you explain more?
Yes, sure. Actually, as a team, we always get together, have some seminars, workshops, and conversations. And every year, we go through our values and we discuss, shall we leave that value or shall we add some other values? Uh,
Hmm.
and we discuss on that, and if a person says that this value, yes, we say that we aim for it, but I cannot have enough help. I want to ask to all my colleagues to have help on this value. Please be sure and make me sure say they have this conversation. So talking about the values, talking about the needs, I think builds and sustains the team culture.
Talking about needs and values.
Yeah.
Great, great. I know I've got a lot more questions to ask, but I've